We live, baby.
All
Wait a
right.
minute.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't see it. Mm, No, I don't see it. Um, you're in the show. It says. Go to my channel and see if you see it because I don't. I don't see it. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It says you are live. Okay.
So, Miss Linda, can you all see Miss Linda on her end? Somebody has to go over to her channel because if y'all are already in the chat, you're gonna have to leave out and go back to her channel. And
Let me just see.
you should see in your top left corner, Miss Linda, you should see where you have certain amount of number in your live up top.
No, I don't see. Oh yeah. My nephew say he see both of us. So okay, he say he
Okay.
see both of the channels.
Okay.
But
Well, we're good.
I don't see it. But so tell me this here: do you all see um us live on my channel? Let me know. Does somebody see me live on my channel? Nephew, can you see me live on my
Yes,
channel?
it's up here now, Miss Linda.
Okay, very
I
good.
see you. Because at the top there are 2 check marks, so we good.
We
All
good.
right, we are
Thank
rolling.
you, J3. Thank you, man. Thank you all. K
What's up,
Renee.
Chris? Back to our roots. Yeah.
He's here.
No, you just said nephew, right?
Thank you, nephew. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He said, yes. He said, I see both of y'all.
Yeah, I see it. So you turned it on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a little closer.
We learned something here tonight. Thank you, J3.
What it's all about.
Say bon, family.
Family. We
Where's
got
your water?
family.
Where's your water?
Yeah.
There you go.
My favorite little sippy cup.
Say bon.
All right.
Mm.
So what are we talking about tonight, Miss Linda?
We are talking about fruit trees 101.
101. How to start your backyard orchard.
Yeah.
And why this is significant right now, because this week's been really exciting for me. You guys already know that I started having my online orchard on growingoutthebox.com. And we did our first shipment this week. And the people who have already ordered from us should be now receiving their boxes. And this is what that box should look like. So we just kind of give you a little glance of what it is. And we sent out 16 fruit trees this week and 32 blueberry bushes. So I'm saying that has been an extreme success. And we want to just talk a little bit about fruit trees tonight, where we could share with you guys what you will be receiving from growingoutthebox.com if you order a fruit tree. We're going to be adding our plum trees. Well, we have plum trees. We're going to be adding our cherry trees. So we have 5 different cherry trees that we're going to be adding, along with 5 more of the blueberry bushes. So, and the sweetheart, that's the one that everybody's been asking about. The sweetheart blueberry bush, that will be up probably next week. And we also added some raised beds to the website. But tonight we are talking about fruit trees.
Yeah.
All right.
So tell me this: have anyone purchased a new fruit tree? A new fruit tree? Thank you, G Mama. Thank you, baby. So you said you had 16 or 14 new trees went out.
We had 16 fruit trees and I want to say 34 blueberry bushes, because the blueberry bushes go out in pairs. So they're still about right around that same number. So 16 and 16. But I'm really excited about all the things that are going on with the website and all. You guys, the community, y'all are showing up and showing out. You're
Yeah.
spending your money. So right now I have 74 on my end. I'm not sure how many you got on your end, Miss Linda.
21.
Okay, so we bumping up to the
We
100
getting
right
there.
now.
We getting there. Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
we're gonna do, this actually is just a pop-up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys know that. So, I got my ride or die with me tonight, Miss Linda. And we said we was gonna do some things together. And as we're starting to get, as I am, trying to get used to this StreamYard thing, we want to
Hey,
try some new
Kelvin.
things. So we're
Yeah.
streaming both on Miss Linda's channel and on growingoutthebox.com.
Yeah. I think one of the things that got us together today is, I don't know how many of you all saw the video that I post today, and it was about rootstocks and scions. Hey, Calvin, so good gardener. How you doing, man? I had many questions about rootstocks and scion, especially the rootstocks, because if you've seen that video, then you've seen where I said that 99% of the fruit trees in our stores are grafted fruit trees. Is many of those fruit trees, lots of them are stone fruits, mostly stone fruits that is grafted a lot. And I was just concerned about many big box stores selling, like if you live in zone 4 and you get a tree that loves zone 9 weather. Could you elaborate a little bit on that one? Growing
Yes,
up?
ma'am. Again, when we start talking about doing the fruit trees as well as blueberry bushes, those are things that you definitely want to have in mind when you're ordering. Like Miss Linda was talking about, going to your big box stores, and a lot of times you have in there a lot of bushes and trees that should not be in your area. And once you plant those out in your garden, you're probably going to find out the hard way that they should not be in your area. And that is, they're either going to be not cold hardy enough, or just something in there that's just not going to have that plant to fare as well as it should. So those are some things that we wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm going to be adding to the website as we get into the fruit trees, uh, pretty much like a resource guide like we have with the blueberry bushes. So as we start bringing in the fruit trees onto the website, I want to do an entire layout for the fruit trees as well.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm just racking my head trying to figure out, because as I have said many times, I am not big knowledgeable on fruit trees. But this is my thought. When you are living in zone 4 and you get a tree that loves zone 9 weather, are you looking at the tree, which is the scion, or are you looking at the rootstock?
A combination of the two,
Okay.
because the tree is going to take on the characteristics of the rootstock. So you're
Okay.
going to get, let's say, for example, if you're going to grow a stone fruit like the green gage or any type of plum tree, you're going to be looking for that plum tree to be in its normal characteristics, but the rootstock also pushes its genetics up into that plant. So it's able to take on a lot of the characteristics of whatever that rootstock is. And they don't tell us what that rootstock is, but
Yes.
it has a lot to do with the cold hardiness of the plant, as well as the fruit set.
Right.
It will actually influence flavor. All of
Yes.
those things the rootstock has.
And the
Can actually do.
size also.
That's right.
Do this tree like sandy soil, clay soil, or all of those, the characteristics of that tree. If this tree is going to produce big fruits or little fruits, or so many things that the rootstock will say about that tree. But I just don't have the information on it.
Yeah. And one thing that they are now that I'm doing the fruit trees and all, they are very hush hush about what it
Yeah.
is that they're using for that rootstock. And one of the reasons why that is because if they told you what it is that they use for the rootstock, then you would go out and probably purchase that same tree. And then, of course, they wouldn't have the business of selling you the fruit trees. But we are in the community of self-sustaining ourselves. So we
Right.
want to share this type of information with y'all. And
Right.
a lot of this stuff, like you said, we can grow ourselves, create our own rootstock, which is
Exactly.
what I am doing.
And I like that. I like that. So tell me this: do you have rootstocks for different zones?
Most of the time, it's a general. That
Okay.
rootstock is going to be pretty much for all zones. Because if you got something that's cold hardy, then of course it's going to go all the way up to, let's say, a zone 9A or something like that. 10, you kind of start tapping out pretty much on everything, unless it's a tropical.
Right.
So you're talking about stone fruit. Generally, is going to range anywhere from a zone 4 to a zone 9A and then up, depending on what it is. But most of the rootstock that we have on the fruit trees that we have, they're going to be generally from like a zone 5 maybe to a 9. And that's going to be kind of pushing it when you start getting to 9, because then you start entering into tropical fruit.
Right. But do you all know? Do many of you all know what is a rootstock and what is a scion? So tell me that. If you know what it is, just say yes. And if you don't, say no. Just so we'll know, have a general idea of what you know. Oh, she said, I can't type, but I'm listening. Okay, baby.
Yeah.
So Maxine said, this is the first time I'm catching a live, and I just subscribed to Miss Linda's channel. Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks
what's
for
up,
posting the link.
Maxine?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got
Oh,
Maxine. Oh, you see what that is? Look at the picture.
What is it?
You remember Living Singles?
Yeah.
You remember Max?
So Christopher says no, he don't know. Linda said yes. Rotten said no, he knew. He don't know what a scion is. And of course, Calvin, I know you know. He said yes. Oh, yeah. Charlene says, great news. I will order my fruit tree and my blueberry bushes from Growing Out the Box. Okay, so now, Growing Out the Box, explain to everyone what is a rootstock and why it's needed. Because, as I said, 99% of our fruit trees in big box stores and in nurseries, they all have been grafted.
Well, I'm going to take an example of what I have right here. You see this right here. These are citrus. And these are Pansaris trifoliates, which is one of the coldest, hardiest citrus trees in the world, for that matter. They can get down to negative 15 degrees. 99.999999999% of all, did I say 99?
Yeah, you said 99.
99% of all citrus are grown on the Pansaris trifoliate. Now, how do I get these? Because I'm actually growing the tree in my backyard. So this will be 7 rootstocks. And
so that's what that is. Those are rootstocks. And a rootstock is just what it says. That is the roots of your tree.
Yeah. So what happened is, you see right here, we have we got wax on the tips, and that's to hold in the moisture. And then down here we have peat moss and sand. And I root the same thing. Peat moss and sand is going to be my blueberry cuttings. It's pretty much everything that I root is going to be peat moss and sand. One of the reasons why I do that is one of the reasons why Miss Linda does not like stuff in her house. You're not going to get gnats. You're not going to get insects because it's not soil, sand, and peat moss. That's all it is. Now, that's my rootstock. Now, why do we have rootstock, Miss Linda?
So rootstocks is this. So from what I understand, a tree. Trees that is grown from seed will take between 7 to 10 years to give you a fruit, baby.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
So when you take that tree and put the scion, so the tree and the foliage you see is the scion. That is the scion, right? The foliage, the tree itself is the scion, right?
So this would be the scion.
Right. So if, say for instance, if it was all together, it will take between 7 to 10 years for you to get fruit. So to shorten that time, we take your rootstock, and what is the name of it?
The scion.
No.
Oh, the Pansaris trifoliate.
Right. And we take my scion and we put them together by grafting. And then you will get fruit sometimes the same year that you purchased.
That's right. Because on my blueberry cuttings, I get, if I do a cutting in fall, spring, I'll have buds on that. I won't let them bud, but I'll have buds on it. So technically it can produce fruit the next year. And the same thing with the citrus, because the citrus are cut from adult plants. So what you're basically doing is you're just grafting on to that rootstock an adult plant, and you can get fruit the very next year.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is why 99.99.99
99999
of the fruit trees in the big box stores are grafted.
That's right.
And that's the reason.
Yeah. And it makes perfect sense when you really get into it, because like we were talking about earlier, Miss Linda, the stone fruit, like your plums and your peaches, they're technically grafted. Well, they are grafted onto the same rootstock. And what it is, it's a hybrid between a plum and a peach. So you can go either way with it. And of course, you have the certain rootstock that dwarfs the plants, and then you have certain rootstock that allows the plant to grow to its full maturity.
Right. And this is why sometimes if you purchase a tree, say for instance, you purchase a dwarf, and it is it's been grafted, but your dwarf gets to be this full-grown tree. Sometimes it is because of that rootstock.
Rootstock is taking over. That's right.
Yes.
And like I was telling Miss Linda, I had a good friend of mine who was growing a ponderosa. This would be what a ponderosa looks like. This thing literally has the whole room smelling, but this came off of my ponderosa. And this is what he purchased. And of course, he went through a winter time. He said he lost the tree, and then all of a sudden it started growing back. Well, what happened was the rootstock took over, because the rootstock is grown from the Pansaris trifoliate, which handles that cold weather. So the rootstock goes down, like I said, to a negative 15 degrees. So if your original plant dies off, your scion, and it comes back the next year, chances are
that's rootstock.
You're going to be growing rootstock.
Exactly.
Now, that's not a bad thing.
No.
If you are trying to grow more citrus.
Yeah.
Only if you're trying to grow more citrus. But if you're trying to grow a ponderosa, it ain't going to happen.
You're right.
Right. And another good thing, too, about growing from the rootstock is the seeds. You can actually plant the seeds, and the very next year you can graft onto them.
Great.
That's what makes it so beautiful. So you can have a myriad of plants, so
Yeah.
many different ways to do it. Yeah.
I think another thing is also what we need to talk about is when the rootstock begin to grow. What should you do?
Cut it off. Get rid of it. Because
You
it will
should.
take over.
Yeah.
Yes. It
And
will take
sometimes that it will grow so big, you may think it's the tree, the good part. And I've seen one person here made a mistake and grafted the rootstock.
Oh, now that was a waste.
It really was, but that's what happens when you don't cut it off.
Yeah.
So when your rootstock start growing, cut those limbs off.
And I'm gonna
Because
show
you
you
don't
my
want that.
scion. Now this, I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Buddha hand.
Yeah.
These are little. I got this from the Dollar Tree. This is my first time going to Dollar Tree when I got these. I was watching Miss Linda on her Dollar Tree haul about, what was that, about 2 years ago,
About
maybe?
2 years ago.
2
Yeah.
years. So for all those who talking about these things don't last, still got the Dollar Tree thing stuck on it. But this is what I use to grow all of my cuttings. That's blueberry, whatever cuttings I have, I use it, and it's the same thing, 50% peat moss, 50% sand. So what I do is I just pop this off, and look how healthy these plants are.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are Buddha hand lemons, and they set fragrance through the entire house. I mean, you can scratch them, and I mean, it's like an incense. That's how strong it is. So this would be my scions to go on to that Pansaris trifoliate. So it's 5 of them in here. And I also have some of my cold hardy citrus, which is the brown select satsuma, which is the tree that I got it off of, went down to 8 degrees. So that's going to be a good one for cold hardiness to go on top of that rootstock that I have. And I also have the Miwa kumquat, which is supposed to be around 15 degrees, but from the tree that I got it off of, that tree also has been in 8 degrees. So as you condition those trees, they acclimate to your environment. And the longer they're in your environment, the more cold hardy they are. So even with the seeds that I was telling you about from the Pansaris trifoliate, there is the potential of those particular seeds turning into something totally different.
Different. Exactly. And that's another reason.
Yeah, it depends on what pollinates it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you have a whole lot of different factors that go into it.
Would you hold that cloche up again? I want to share something. No, the yeah.
The cloche?
No. Not the cloche, the scions.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to hold that up. And this is another thing I want to share with you all, right? This has nothing to do with the trees, but those, you smell that lemony. And this is what I want to say to you all. So many of you all who are part of my channel, you already know that your leaves, citrus leaves to be exact, but all your fruit tree leaves, all of them, if growing out the box wanted some lemonade right now, the leaves.
The leaves. I learned that from you, Miss Linda. So I'm not even gonna take that from you. When you said that, I went out there, I started tasting the leaves.
Yes, taste them, smell them.
Yeah.
Is when you go into your garden, use all your 5 senses: smell, taste, touch, feel them.
That's right.
But all your fruit trees leaves have benefits and wonderful benefits to it. So don't let them just die.
Okay, Ty Lily, she says, can you clarify? So you take the seeds that produce from the rootstock and let them grow to produce small trees, graft the scion onto the rootstock in order to get fruit from it. No, not quite.
Yeah.
You don't want to allow the seeds to grow into a full tree. You only want the seeds to grow as rootstock.
Yeah.
So what I did with these, this is rootstock, but these are actually cuttings. So what I did was on my Ponsyrus trifoliate, which I have outside, I prune it back to keep it down to a height to where I can reach it. So basically, I just cut the branches, stick them into peat moss and sand.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't, even with citrus, you really don't have to use a rooting hormone. But of course, going out the box, you be doing too much. I put a little, a little honey on it. You know, I'm finna ride with that, Miss Linda.
I know.
I put a little honey on it and some aloe vera. And for me, it just speeds up the process because what it does is you have a sterile mix here. And when you put the honey and the aloe vera on it, that basically helps protect it from any type of funguses and molds. And I've seen some people stick these directly in soil. I don't know how successful that's going to be because citrus are very prone to root rot.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to get some type of root rot or some type of fungus when you do it like that. So peat moss and sand. This is everything that I have ever rooted in my garden, peat moss and sand. And the beautiful part about this is you can do it throughout the winter. You can bring this stuff inside because it's not soil inside. You don't have to worry about insects.
Right.
Perfect little winter project.
So if you don't know what peat moss is, right? Real peat moss comes from the ocean. That's where it comes from. So it's not soil at all.
Sphagnum. Sphagnum is from the marshlands. That's
I always thought that's where what his name? Nemo.
Yeah.
Nemo lived there.
No, that's a different moss.
This is peat moss?
No, that's a different moss.
In the ocean. It's in the ocean though. Is it?
No.
Tell me where it is.
It's like a marshland. Like it's real soaky, wet type.
Really not deep water.
Yeah, it's just like real. We call them in bayous. Y'all call them bayous, swampy type stuff. But that's all it is. It's just sphagnum peat moss is what I like to use, and it's Canadian sphagnum peat moss is the one that I use for my blueberry bush because it's more acidic.
So Ty Lily says she's been looking for a Buddha hand for a while. Where do you buy yours?
They'll be on growing out. You already know they're gonna be on growingoutthebox.com real soon. Yeah.
Box is the seller.
Yeah, so we'll have them on growingoutthebox.com soon. But the Buddha hand is, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it is an amazing, looks like bananas, like a hand, literally like a hand. Big bananas coming
like a
out.
hand, like that. Yeah,
like a hand. And the
Yeah.
fragrance on it, oh man. Like I said, if you were here right now, it lights up the room. You can use them as a natural insect, because what I'm going to be doing with my Buddha hand is growing them inside because they don't handle cold weather well. So they're cold hardy to around 32 degrees, but they make a beautiful house plant and great. I mean, when people walk in, the lady that I got the cuttings from, it's just a conversation piece. They owned a restaurant and she cut this thing off of the tree in the restaurant and gave it to me because she knew who Growing Out the Box was.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Nicky Gardner said it has become expensive lately. He's talking about the peat moss. Very.
Yes.
Very expensive.
And especially the sphagnum.
Yeah.
The Canadian sphagnum is really expensive because that's a little more acidic than the regular one that we find at the big box stores.
Yeah. So Ann says, Buddha hand, I done heard it all. This community is awesome. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, the Buddha. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get grown a little bit.
Do you have many more Growing Out the Box?
Yes, more Buddha hands.
Yes.
I actually have 15 altogether. It's
all right.
A couple of them that are larger than this. But what I'm trying to do, because like I said, this would be my first year growing citrus. I got them last year. What was it, about September or something like that. So I've been rooting these for the past 4 or 5 months, of course, going over through the winter, they're going to slow down because everything slows down growth in the wintertime. But springtime, those babies going to take off.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have as many citrus trees as we want around here.
Yeah.
Pull
Hey,
up
Lauren. Hey, baby. That's my baby. She's from New Orleans. Mardi Gras time going on out here now, you know. PIA said, question growing out the box. Did you see my question? That's from PIA.
You asked me, did I see your question?
Yeah, that's what
I should have asked the question again.
Nikki Gardner said, the miculite has been hard to find. I had to go through Uline.
I have vermiculite in my store. I haven't listed. I'm doing everything by myself. So even listing items and stuff like that kind of throws everything off. But I do have vermiculite. And I also have
over there.
Yeah, I also have 1 second.
Yeah. So, you all go over there and visit just to see what he have in there, You may find things you need for sure, But anyway, let me highlight some of you all that's over here because yo. Hey, precious baby, how you doing? Hey, Ann, backyard gardener. I see. I think I talked to Nikki Gardner. Hey, Gwen, how you doing, baby? Ty Lily, hey, honey. Hey, Miss Shirley, how you doing? And of course, hey, Ro, Bob Brownlee, what up, baby? Ro, hey, Ro. All right, man. I was hollering at my peoples.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, Forgiven, how you doing, baby? LGG say, yes, Miss Linda. We will support you. Yeah, babe. Oh, there you go. Look at the Buddha hands, family.
That is the Buddha hand.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a beautiful plant. And that the zest of the Buddha hand, my goodness. I mean, you can, they do a marmalade.
Yeah.
You make a marmalade out of it. But as far as the smell, you can walk in a room and it catches you straight off the bat, that real beautiful lemony smell. And there's so much that you can do with that.
Man, I would love to make some lemon oils just to get rid of bugs. You
already know. See, Miss Linda, you read my mind. You are reading my mind because that's exactly where I'm going with this. We're always talking about our let's see if I can get that. Yeah, we're always talking about our little homemade DIY type oils and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that is actually one of the reasons why I am growing the Buddha hand, because lemon oil that we were talking about that gets rid of the ants, that puts off so much lemon oil. I mean, it's just unlimited.
Just the smell of it, huh? Yeah.
This is a new product that we're carrying also. And this is Georgia grown, Georgia made right here in Georgia.
Come on, Georgia.
Biochar.
All right.
We got that in the store now. And going out the box, you be doing too much.
So let me ask you a question. How do you use that? Do you have directions on how to use it? Thank you, sir.
Directions all on the back of there.
All right.
But you know how growing out the box is gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying, okay, money in the chat.
You saw that one, huh?
Money in the chat in big red letters too.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Love it, baby. Yeah. Diversity Love said, I'm going out the box. I guess you want to say growing out the box. Can we order trees from you?
Yes. I actually have, right now we have 5 plum trees. All the plum trees that you saw me growing last year, I have them now on growingoutthebox.com because I be doing too much.
Yeah.
So when y'all saw me out there planting those plum trees, the wheels were already in motion. That's why I'm trying to show you guys, not necessarily that you have to do it that way, but if we're going to be growing these things, I at least want to show you best practices on how to do it. You can figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you on your own, but at least when you're watching the video, you have the foundation of what it takes to actually grow the plant and start from start to finish, because that's what I'm going to show you through my videos. It's like you saw me when I planted them, and now you're seeing, again, just come into the box. This is what they come in. Mm-hmm. And we were going to unbox this just to kind of show you guys what you will be receiving.
Oh, wow. So Ty Lily says, wait a minute, baby. Wait. Let me get to you. She says, can you advise of your setup when growing inside? There you go.
Yeah.
Like lights, etc. Also, what is the purpose of biochar?
Biochar is like permanent compost. That's about as simple as you can put it. It is compost on steroids. So basically, biochar is like burned charcoal, you know, that's been burned without oxygen. It's not the stuff that you're going to have in your fire grill outside. It's burned without oxygen, somewhere up in the 500, 600 degree mark. And what it does is it creates these little pores all throughout the wood. You ever seen, like, when you do your barbecue pit and you break the wood that's been burning in the barbecue pit and you see the little pores that go all through it? Well, what the biochar does is it allows the bacteria, the fungi, and all of that stuff to colonize. So you're talking about, whereas, let's say, the surface area on this is only going to be what's on the outside. But if you have biochar, which has all these literally millions of pores going all through it, that is increasing the surface area of this particular thing by 1 million times. So you're talking about, in this one little graph where we was talking about a teaspoon of soil would have over 1 billion bacteria in it. Well, now you're talking about magnifying that and quantifying it. So biochar is what the Amazon forests are made of. This is how they did the Amazon forest back in the days, and why we have some of the most lush forests in the world, the Amazon forest. That was created through biochar, the way they would take these big burn pits and burn it all, and then allow the vegetation to grow back after that burn, and you have some of the best, the best growing medium you ever. So how am I using it? Because I be doing too much. Going inside my citrus. Now, everybody tells you with citrus, you want to have a mineral-based potting mix. Growing Out the Box, doing it a little different. I actually have a potting mix that I'm using my citrus on now. Of course, it's going to take me a while to make sure that this is correct, and I'm not killing my plants, because citrus are prone to root rot. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this correct before I share it with you guys. So most of the stuff that you're going to see me doing is stuff that I've already done, and it's been proven to work. So when I bring it to you, we're not going to be second guessing whether or not if it's going to work or not. We already know that it's been proven. So that's what I'm going to be using that biochar in. With growing organically with our fruit trees, this is something that I'm adding into my compost. And what that does is it continuously feeds our plants the organic material that we're putting in the pots with them. So again, it's like compost on steroids. That's literally what biochar is. And it lasts for years. So once you mix this into your soil or to your potting medium, you don't have to add as much as you would normally have, because the bacteria in this stuff is so good, it's going to continuously feed those plants.
So PIA says, Can you, she says, using 50-50 cocoa core and sand, will it work the same as, you want to say, peat moss? Will it work the same as peat
Cocoa
moss?
core is neutral.
Yeah, yeah.
Peat moss is acidic, so it
Mm-hmm.
depends on what it is that you're
Wrong.
rooting.
Mm-hmm.
Because me, I like to use the peat moss because it's acidic, and your your citrus trees lean to the acidic side. Your blueberry bushes are extremely acidic. So, giving your plants what it needs in nature makes it so much easier for that plant to acclimate to whatever the medium is that you're growing in. So, if you're doing a cocoa core adds absolutely no value to your potting mix. It's just basically something to fill the bowl up. That's
Mm-hmm.
all cocoa core is. It absolutely does nothing. There's no life in it. It doesn't feed your plants. It does absolutely nothing other than holds moisture. So that's a plus side to it. But in terms of nutrients to your
There's
plant,
no NPKs at all.
none at all. None
No.
at all.
Yeah, none of that at all. I just asked that question.
Okay.
So Charlene says, so do I add the biochar to my compost or my potting mix?
Either or.
Either one. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what it is that you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Again, compost, it is absolutely magnificent in compost. And this is what I'll be doing in our spring composting. So I will be adding biochar into the compost because once again, the more diverse your compost pile is, the better it's going to feed your plant. So adding that biochar in it, it just basically takes all of those, like I said, the fungi, the bacterias, everything that's in there, and it puts it into that compost pile. And when you put that compost into your garden, you're talking about some growing now. Yeah, you really feed.
So Carl says, cheers from North Florida. I have one apple tree that is blooming. I have one apple tree that is blooming a bit, but my other fruit trees are still dormant, already getting to nearly 80 down here. Well, I'm here in New Orleans, and all of my fruit trees are blooming and putting
Fake
on
spring, fake spring.
no,
That's what we
no.
have here. I know you in New Orleans. You got the
So
real thing.
that's right.
But
But
you
see,
got fake spring.
tomorrow is March 1st. So let me just say my last frost date is behind me, baby. It's behind
Yeah,
me. It is go time.
yeah, yeah.
Nephew, I know you hear me. It's go
We've
time.
been tricked over here because
It's go
all of
time
my
in
fruit
zone
trees,
9.
yeah, all of my fruit trees are blooming, and we are going to see 30s the weekend. Matter of fact, Sunday night we should be in the 30s. So
Really?
that's not a good thing for us over here, and that
Well, we
usually
ain't faking, baby. We ain't faking it. We
uh,
doing too much over here. We doing too much.
that's right, G Mama. That's if you're making your biochar, but the biochar that you buy at the store has already been
Already
charred.
made.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Mm.
And one of the things that I tell people also, because some people is asking me how to make biochar. Well, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I want to show how to make it because there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that, especially with all these fires that we're having lately.
Right.
That's a big responsibility that you're taking on when you can go to the Dollar Tree and for $4 or $5 buy you a bag of not the briquettes, but it's just raw charcoal.
Charcoal. Mm-hmm.
Raw
Mm-hmm.
charcoal. Already there. Then you have to charge it. And charging it is the easiest thing in the world. You could throw it in some super juice. You could throw it in some fish fertilizer. You can put some black cow in it. You can mix a little slurry and let it sit for a couple of days. But one of the ways that I will be showing how to charge it is putting it into my compost brewer. and that's the little 5-gallon bucket that I have where I brew my compost. You can charge that thing within 24 hours rather than having to sit for over 2 weeks. You can have it charged up within 24 hours. Throw you some kelp meal in it, some liquid kelp, and fish fertilizer, and let that thing brew overnight.
Yes, Lord.
Done
Yeah.
deal. Done deal. Yeah.
So Carl was talking about you can even buy liquid biochar. You see that?
I don't know.
I never had that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about liquid biochar.
Yeah.
Because biochar is charcoal. So I don't.
Yes.
Maybe you meant to charge it. Maybe that's what he's talking about, like the liquid to charge your charcoal.
Now I think it was PIA. You asked about. You had a question for your banana trees, and if you do, ask your question now, baby. Ask your question if you're here.
Mine should be next. We snow every few weeks. Yeah.
Oh, somebody getting snow?
Yes, a lot of people still getting snow, and you know, down here in Georgia, April is really a snow month for us. You know, we'll get those warm ups, and that's one of the reasons why I start growing in those cups, the 32-ounce cups, because I was putting my seedlings out, thinking that spring is rocking and rolling. Then all of a sudden, we get those throwback frosts, and those seedlings are not going to make it. You know, so what I do is I grow in those 32-ounce cups, and that allows me to be able to take those seedlings back in and give them more room to grow, because you got this thing called gravitropism, and and basically the nature of the plant is to grow towards gravity. And when that plant roots grow, the deeper the roots grow, the taller the limbs of the plant grow. That's why you were seeing in those cups how large those plants were growing, because it's deep and the roots go deeper, and the deeper the roots grow, the taller the plants grow.
Yeah. So PIA say my question was about cocoa core. Okay. Hey Angela, how you doing, baby? Georgia Garden. Hey, she said hi all. What a surprise! Didn't know y'all were live. Okay, baby.
Yeah, just a pop up. It was like, I guess the powers were meant to be, because Miss Linda put up a video today when she was talking about fruit trees, and I say, wow, that's a coincidence, because we just shipped out our fruit trees this week, and I wanted to kind of give people just a sample of what they would be receiving in the mail, because I think some of them were received today. So some of you guys, if you've ordered fruit trees already, have already received them, so you know what the package looks like. But I just wanted to show you guys what the package looks like and what you will receive and how to unbox it, because it's set up a certain way. And I'll just do this real quick.
Yeah.
You want to unbox from the bottom. You don't want to take it from the top. You want to unbox from the bottom.
Okay.
And basically it's going to be, you're going to get a little flap down there at the bottom here. And then it's basically going to drop out on you.
Wow. Okay.
And you see it's got a little grow pamphlet in here as well. That's going to fall out to the bottom. So we put that to the side. You see it has a croaker sack.
Oh,
and you
wow.
see how that just slides out of there with no problem.
Wow. Okay.
And you can even see the buds on here.
Yeah. So what is that?
This is a beauty plum. And this was the only one that I have on the website that I didn't have in the garden. So I said I wanted to get this out here. Now, something that you want to keep in mind now when you're purchasing the plums, just like when you're purchasing the blueberries. And like I said, it comes with the croaker sack. And then if you remove the croaker sack,
sack or burlap.
Burlap. Yep.
Burlap.
Mm-hmm. Depends on where you're from.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm from Florida, so we call them croaker sacks.
Croaker sack. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then you have it wrapped in plastic. And this is where it's saturated with You got some straw and all kind of stuff. I ain't gonna take it apart because it's
Yeah.
you can really smell, but you can see the straw
Right.
that's
That's
wrapped in this,
awesome.
and it's
That's
soaked in
really
water.
neat, though.
That's bare root, but again, like I said, it's wrapped in straw. So this is just giving you a heads up on what you would be receiving, and it's
So,
not.
so wait, you say it's bare root
Yes, ma'am. It's bare
and
root.
it's wrapped in straw
Yep,
to keep
it's
it.
all
Okay.
soaked in straw to keep it hydrated during the
Okay.
travel, because you can see, like I said, this thing
Yeah,
is it's trying to bud already.
I see that.
Yeah, trying to put
That's
that together.
nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's budding already. So if I put this outside and we have a couple of days of warm weather, she gonna take off.
For real, though. Yeah.
So that's what they come out now. The blueberries, they're in a 1 gallon containers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pretty easy to take care of because they
Mm-hmm.
already got what they need for that first year. But your plum trees, all your fruit trees are going to come bare root. So you have to get them out of this within 24 hours after receiving them.
So you recommend that they plant them where, in a container or in the ground?
Preference, basically,
Okay.
whatever your preference is, because
And what about fertilize? Should you fertilize them when you plant them?
no,
Okay, good.
I would not fertilize in the first year.
Okay.
Now, what I do is, because growing out the box be doing too much, I do add a little, what they call fruit tone
Mm-hmm.
in my mix. When I mix my 30, I do 33% compost, 33% native soil, and 33% peat moss, because you want the soil slightly acidic. It doesn't have to be too acidic, but you want it slightly acidic, somewhere around maybe a 6.2 to a 6.7 is going to be pretty good for your fruit trees. The
Mm-hmm.
blueberry bushes, on the other hand, are very acidic. But yeah, a little tree tone, and that usually does it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So many people, but then you have instructions in there, right?
Yes, there. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Actually, it comes with, and these are basically instructions for any type of fruit trees. So
Mm-hmm.
you're basically getting everything in here that goes with different kind of fruit trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a little graph card folded up. So we're pretty proud of what we're doing over here, and
Doing good.
yeah,
Yeah. Carl says, first year is all about the roots.
that's right.
The deeper and wider, the better.
That's right.
Very good.
Absolutely correct. And
Mike says,
you don't want
those
it to
4
poop.
boxes store trees, half blue pellets. Okay.
That's right. They be on that crack. Yeah. So this is why I like the bare root, because the bare root do not come with that. They
Yeah,
give you
no crack.
none of that crap. You get to start your thing off with basically give it a fresh start. So
What Carl says, one up, go one up. Yeah.
$15 bare root trees turn into $50 potted trees real fast. That's right. Absolutely right. They're not going to grow as fast in the pots. Of course,
Right.
anything you put in that soil gonna find its own. Once it digs in and settles in, by that second year, she starts to find her own food, and you really don't have to fertilize after that first year. You might give it a little something just to kind of wake her up and
Yeah.
get her going. But after that second year, it's compost. That's
Yeah,
it.
in the ground, definitely.
Compost.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw Calvin from So Good Gardener.
Yeah.
He showed what he do is just compost all his trees.
That's
That's
right.
it. And that's the food.
Because she gonna go find her own food.
Yes,
She's on her own when you put her. But when you have them in the pots,
they're
they're
contained.
100% dependent upon you.
Exactly.
And disclaimer: don't listen to nothing I say about growing in a pot, because I am terrible growing in pots.
Really?
So that's my kryptonite.
Okay.
I cannot grow in pots. And I think part of that is because I rely so much on, the soil biology.
Right.
I have a tendency of thinking the plant can go and get what it needs, so I don't fertilize on schedule. Whereas when you're doing your organic stuff in your planters, once you establish that bed, there's life there, and they form that symbiotic relationship with each other, and they talk to each other. The plant's
Yeah.
going to tell the bacteria what it needs. The bacteria
Mhm.
is going to go out and get it, and they're going
Mhm.
to bring it back, and it makes life so much easier.
Yeah. So Rotten says, how deep do we plant the fruit trees in pots? It depends on the size of your pot. But go
Well,
for it, man.
going to your point, Miss Linda,
Yeah.
always remember that that's a good question. That's a very good question. That's
Yes.
something that we can actually show the example of.
Yes. When we're talking about
Your
root
grafting, your
stocks and
grafting union.
scions, that's right.
This is, let me see if I can pull this up for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Your grafting union.
Right there.
There is your answer. You
Don't
want at
go.
least that 4 inches right here where we're at right now. That grafting union should not be underground. If it gets underground, this baby is going to take off. That
Yeah.
rootstock, she going to take over, and this tree is not going to be able to produce because this is going to take over.
Yeah.
You're going to see something growing out right here, like there's a potential of a node coming out right here. If you get something down, anything below this, you want to take that off the bush, because it will start draining all of the energy from this cutting.
Exactly.
This is a graft union, and this is the actual plant down here. So this will take over if you start getting new growth down there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good question there. I'm glad you asked that, because we almost missed it. And we actually talked about that.
We talked about it, sure did. And it's so important because that rootstock will get big if you let it. It will.
Trees eat lots of nuts compared to veggie plants. Yeah, definitely. And but the whole thing is, if again, I don't grow in pots, so I can't tell you. I don't do it. You know what I mean? Everything that you see out of my garden is in the dirt. I mean, fig trees, blueberry bushes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Well, you
plant.
see, all of my fig trees are in containers.
Yeah.
All of them.
And
well, I got some fig trees. She's in a container, but really she's not.
Yeah.
She have bust out the bottom and she's in the ground.
Find a way. She gonna find a way to get that food.
She's in it. Yeah, she's in the ground. Yeah.
And that's when you'll see, as a matter of fact, I have probably 20 blueberry bushes that are going into the garden area this year, and they've done exactly that. So I did not disturb them.
Yeah.
So they kind of like on their own right now. And what I'll do in spring, I'll actually go and have to dig up the soil.
Yeah.
And then take that soil with them and take them to their new home.
Yeah. Yeah. I just let them stay. And man, listen, you want to bust out the bottom, go ahead, bust out the bottom.
She will.
I don't
taking
fight
a life of their own.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how even just those little roots that tap down into that soil, once they get in there, they're on their own. They don't
really
need no help from you.
Really, because like I have a pomegranate, both of my pear trees, my mandarin orange, I have a Maya lemons. They all in the ground. I do not feed them at all. I don't give them I don't give them anything. They take care of themselves.
Are you asking Miss Linda what size pots her fig trees are in?
Oh, mine's are in. I have couple in 50 and the others in 30-gallon containers.
Yeah, because all my fig trees are in the ground. Matter of fact, I have a black mission. I was watching Led when he pulled that black mission off of his tree. I was like, I gotta have that. So I did get the black mission. I have the yellow. What is it called? Can't remember the name of the yellow one, but it's
or Cadota. De La Boar, whatever it is. I think it's
No,
a
but
white.
it's a big baby. She looks
Oh,
like the
really?
size of a
Yeah.
pear. The guy that I got it from, he had some on there that was the sizes of pears.
I
And
have two air lays on my Black Mission.
yeah,
I
then
started
the
air lays on them.
champion and two brown turkeys. But
Mhm.
again, all of mine are there in the ground. You
Yeah.
know,
My problem was putting my fig trees in the ground is because they will get huge. And I don't want huge. He's like one of them that's in the ground. That's the one I did two air lays on last year. And she just gets so big and I gotta take her down because they will get very big.
yeah.
I don't want them that big. I want to contain them.
Yeah. See, I
Yeah.
am say the winter sweet peas busted out the bottom of this year, and they're the biggest in the harvest, the heaviest producers. You ain't gonna beat nothing that taps into that soil. I don't care what you put in the pot.
Right.
If it tap into that soil, and your soil is right,
Yeah.
it's no comparisons. I mean,
Yeah.
because
It's
everything that you put in that pot, you have to put it in there.
right.
Whereas what's ever in that soil, that plant can go down and it'll start communicating with, when they say symbiotic relationship, that
Mhm.
is really a true thing that happens. So you have stuff like your I saw one person say they had fungus in their garden bed. They had the wood mulch down and they saw all this white stuff crawling across the top. And that's the mycelium.
Yeah, it's mycelium. I'm about to
Yeah,
say it. That's the
but
good
even
stuff.
further than the mycelium, basically is an extension of your root,
Hmm.
and it taps down. It'll travel further than where your root zone is and go down and get that extra moisture, the extra nutrients. So that's one of the reasons why I keep mulch in all of my beds. I can peel back any of the beds, and you'll see mycelium just running throughout, and that's our busculus uh, fungi that attaches to the mycelium. So the mycelium is just the highway. They call it the nutrient highway, but the
Hmm.
actual fungus is called a busculus, and
Yeah.
that's what you want. That's what actually feeds that plant, goes down and get those nutrients out the soil and bring them back to the plant. But it's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing when you just watch
To
how,
see and witness
yeah,
because last year, of course, every year I cut my moringa down. So the wood and the limbs from last year, I have them and I planted flowers in them today. The mycelium and all the fungi in them is unbelievable, unbelievable.
that's
And
right.
that's another thing is that my biggest moringa, she's in the ground, and every year I cut her down, and every year she come back. But her roots, oh baby, they are deep.
Yeah. And
They are
that from
deep.
having that mycelium in there, because like Mike said, that's the plant internet. it
Yeah.
just it just runs everywhere. But most people think that it's what they say, the mycelium is the mushroom.
Mhm.
That's fruit of the mycelium. The
Right.
mycelium is basically, like you said, the lineage that travels down into it, but the actual fungus is called an arbuscula, and
Right.
that's what you really want to look for. So it's I mean, it's just a beautiful. I'm trying to see who's
And
asking.
I think the wonderful thing that I do love about it is like seeing the mushrooms, like the bird nest mushroom, the ear mushroom, is that seeing all of these organisms working together to break down, it's breaking down all of this organic matter in your garden bed or wherever it is. It is just amazing to see that all of these things working together like this is it's really mind blowing to me sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. As
Mhm.
Rotten saying, he was blessed to purchase an off-grid property. All plants need to be in pots for at least a year. That's, yeah, depending on where you're at.
Yeah,
Because you
I
down there
think
with
that's
Miss,
a matter of choice.
yeah, because if you're where Miss Linda is, you getting that good weather.
Mm-mm.
You can throw that baby in the dirt and
Right
she will
now,
take off. Yeah. Now
very
if
much.
you're where I'm at, and you got these crazy winters that don't want to go away, and then they come back and then they go away. Yeah, you want that plant to be a little more matured, and that's what you get when you order them from growingoutthebox.com. These are 2 and 3 year old plants, so they are ready to go in the ground. So you don't have to worry about having to let them establish themselves in pots first month. They are ready to go in the ground.
Yeah. And so this is another thing I said is that, so I have been gardening here in my home, in my backyard since 2013, 2014. I have rearranged my garden so many times. Every inch of spot in my backyard has been a garden at some time. My garden soil is amazing. Drop a seed. I dare you. I dare you. She's gonna grow. She's gonna grow because of all the beneficial matter that's in that garden.
And also, I like to always say too, to the new gardeners who are coming online, you are not going to be able to look at what Miss Linda is doing and think that you're going to get that same result.
Not in one season.
No, because the soil is not conditioned well enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference on how well your soil is conditioned. Like when I first started my garden, I did it the hard way. You know, I went and got some dirt from construction area and brought it back in. Then I had to train that dirt to get it to build back up, to put the nutrients in it, because it was basically just construction site dirt.
It was just dirt.
You know, no life in it.
None.
So it took me a couple of years to get it, which I'm technically in my 3rd year with the garden. So last year I really started seeing the fruits really come in, like to where I could step back, not put any blood meal on certain plants or not any bone meal on certain plants. And I really saw the difference in how things reacted to just the organic stuff that we're putting on, stuff like like Miss Linda uses her super juice and the fish fertilizer, things of that nature. But what we're trying to do within the community is just get everybody up to speed to where a lot of this stuff we can grow ourselves, even our fertilizers.
Yes. Yes, we can. I put this video up about maybe 2 years ago, and it kind of blew everybody's mind over at TikTok. But as far as bone meal, and it started me to search because a friend of mine here is vegan and she did not want bone meal in her garden. So I started researching. So I found out, of course, white beans, navy beans, it have lots of phosphorus. And then I said, we don't know who's in that bag.
Yeah.
Do you?
All it is farm animals. I mean, that's what it is. Blood meal is when
we talk about bone meal. Who's in that bag? Who's in that bag? But anyway, so that's how the
Money in the chat. Money in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Ann. Thank you, baby.
Thank you, Ann.
So that's where we start you can grow definitely your own phosphorus. If you have a banana tree, a plantain, potassium, right? And of course, all of your leafy vegetables that's been eaten or you can make super juice.
That's right. And I grow peanuts.
That's right. Talk about
those. We were all talking about growing peanuts last year, Miss Linda and a couple other people in the garden community. But one of the reasons why I'm growing peanuts is for the fertilizer as well as the oil that comes off of that. So the peanut actually has a very good portion of phosphorus in there. So you have it's a 7-2-2, which is comparable to the fish fertilizer. And we're going to put this baby to the test this year.
Hey.
So we're going to do.
So wait a minute. It's a what? 7-2-2?
7-2-2.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
That's
so we're going to put her to the test this year. So we're going to do some fish fertilizer in one bed, and we're going to do the peanut meal in the other bed, and we're going to see
Okay.
If she dance, we gonna see if she can dance. So
Hey,
that's
oh,
something
then
I've been
if she
working on for a
dance, then
while.
we can grow it.
That's right. That's right.
That's most
Amaret.
important.
We were
Yes,
talking about amaret the other night on your live, Miss Linda. That's something that
mhm.
we can grow as a fertilizer as well. The leaves are very good fertilizers.
And might grow that too.
Yeah, and it's
You
a
grow
beautiful plant.
tamarind.
It's a
Yeah,
beautiful plant. Love lies, and I know G Mama said that she had the love lies. That that's the one that you want, the love lies,
love
and you
live
can
bleeding, something like that.
love lies bleeding amaranth. That's right.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
and not only that, you were talking about growing your corn for flour. You can
For
also grow.
cornmeal,
That's right. You can also grow the amaranth for to make a flour out of it.
cool.
Yeah,
That is great. So Carl say blood meal is basically pure nitrogen. Yes.
yeah, it
In
is.
my super juice, yes. What's up with the molasses in the super juice? So molasses, listen, I don't use molasses all the time. I use molasses when this happens. So I know you know what I'm gonna say, right? Growing out the box.
Yes, I do.
Say for instance, if you have a plant, she's not dead, she's alive, she's green, but she ain't growing, she ain't moving. I give her a little molasses. Just as you would give a child sugar. If you give a child sugar, she's gonna be all over the place. That child gonna be, well, that's what it does to plants.
Yeah,
It's just to shake them up a little bit, but it also have lots and lots of benefits
that's
in
right.
that molasses.
And that
Okay.
molasses is when we think about feeding our plants organically, and there's that word I know some people have a problem with, or when we're feeding our plants organically, we're technically not feeding the plant. We're
Mm-hmm.
feeding the biology in the soil, which
Oil. Mm-hmm.
feeds the plant.
All right.
Because, like she was saying, that sugar that's in that molasses is like it's a sugar rush for the bacteria that's in the soil.
Right.
And what that does is it causes them to multiply.
Mm-hmm.
That sugar gives them that extra food that they need, and they start multiplying, eating, pooping, and when they
Yep.
poop, of course, that stuff becomes available to the plants to where they can uptake the nutrients from it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, molasses is very good. And we got more in the chat. Look at that, Courtney Cherry.
Yeah, and the great thing about my molasses also is I grow sugar cane and I made my own molasses from my own sugar cane.
Black
Thing.
strap unsulfured
Yeah,
molasses. To make sure if you buy the molasses, that is unsulfured molasses. Because the other one has, I think it's salts that you don't want in there. So
yeah.
unsulfured molasses.
But I like I say, I grew mine and I only use two ingredients in making mine, and that is sugar cane and water. That is it. That is all.
Yeah. Raw peanuts are cheap. You're actually absolutely right, Mike. But ain't nothing like growing it in your own dirt. Because one of the things that one of the reasons why I do like growing my peanuts is because it also has that leguminosarum bacteria that I like spreading around the garden. And then once you finish harvesting your peanuts, you do a chop and drop. And what we got that thing called, Miss Linda, that green what?
Manure.
Green manure.
Green manure. But listen, baby. So get this here question. Just there for the plants. It says it's confusing. There's so many different suggestions. I just bought blood meal and bone meal. Very new with gardening first year. Listen, baby, use your blood meal and bone meal. It is okay.
That's
It
right.
is okay. Don't
That's
use
right.
your blood meal. Use it. Okay.
And
This
what
is
we're
just
trying
the
to,
next
yeah,
level. That's all.
that's right. What we're trying to do is we're trying to wean you off of the things that you can grow yourselves, but the blood meal and the bone meal, that's how most of
We
us
all
in the garden
started.
community, we all start there. Yeah,
Yes.
that is your foundation. So
Yeah.
you are good with what you just did.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is at some point when you get more experience that you will want to grow your fertilizers. You'll be saving money, right? But right now, use your blood meal and your bone meal.
That's right.
Okay, use it. I
And
got some too. I got
that's
some
right.
too.
And like Miss Linda was saying, like maybe we'll do a whole video on different plants that we can grow and get that lanyard from.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
we
man.
use it
Yeah.
for fertilizer, but we also can eat off of it. And peanuts would
Exactly.
be one of them. The amaranth would be another one. I mean, they're just the sunflower, the Mexican sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are things that you can use in the garden as fertilizers, and then you can start saving yourself that extra money. And that's why, yeah, we don't want to confuse you in telling you these things, but it is to also just get you to think, because I don't really want you to do what I do. I want you to see what I'm doing and try to understand why I'm doing it. That to me is where I feel like being able to pass the blessings from one to the other and teaching you not how to grow, but really just stimulating the thought process and teaching you how to grow outside your box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's really what the channel is. When I say growing out the box, it's not necessarily the boxes that I'm growing out of. It's just a way of thinking. You know, like Miss Linda and I, we were talking the other day about how our gardens feed us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And can you grow enough in your garden to support your family?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of, you know, somatics. Like Miss Linda looks at it for exactly what it is. She's growing to eat her food from her garden.
And that's the bottom line. I want to eat.
That's her number one.
Yeah.
Now, my goal is to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn how to grow as much as I can. And from that, we have things like that turn into growingoutthebox.com, to
Right.
where I'm selling fruit trees, to where my garlic offers a supplemental income.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these residuals that come from the garden that had you not dropped the seed, you wouldn't have those things to feed your family.
True.
So we're getting to the same place. We're arriving at the same place, but you know, growing out the box be doing too much. He just
Yeah, man, you be
like
doing too much.
all the way around the block. Miss Linda just like going straight to it.
I'm going straight at it because
Yeah.
listen, family, and I've said this in the video today, is that the question was, why are you growing? Why do you have a garden? Well, Miss Linda, let me just tell you, I'm 68 years old strong. Been gardening all my life. I grow. When I drop a seed, I'm looking for a harvest. I want a harvest. That's my goal. They are not my babies. I'm not trying to pet them. My garden is not, no. My garden, tell you what my garden is. My garden is where I go to get food. And that's my bottom line. Because if a plant does not give me food, she going into super juice.
She gonna feed you one way or another.
That's right. But she gonna get up out of here.
Yeah. But again, the exchange of ideas,
Yeah.
that's what I like about our relationship. You know what I mean? Because I learn by watching not only what you do, but what you don't do. And I would hope that anybody who is watching me would get the same thing. Don't always watch me for what I do. Watch sometimes for what I don't do, because that's where a lot of the things that can spiral into something that you probably never knew existed. And that's pretty much how I like to garden. I like to garden with the grow.
Right.
If that makes sense to you. Just like showing the product in the videos from the beginning.
Yeah.
And everybody was asking that question. Well, why are you showing those products in there? You're not getting paid for that. But here we are 2 years. Here we are 2 years later, and look at what's happening.
Yeah, man.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that thing that we'll be talking about, you can speak things into existence, and you can believe in things and make it manifest based upon your actions. Because faith
Yeah.
without works,
It's
somebody
dead.
else. There you
It's
go.
dead.
It's dead.
It's dead.
So if you're not believing in your work in the beginning when I was putting those products up in my videos, now you look back on that 2 years later, those same videos that were getting 200-300 views are now 40,000-50,000 views. And as the
Mhm.
channel continues to grow, now what happens is those same advertisers that I was showing off their product in the beginning are now reaching out to me and saying, hey, how can we collaborate to make this make sense now? That's
Yeah.
how the nursery came about. That's
Yeah.
how things like the biochar come about. That's how the
Yeah.
blueberries came about. That's how the raised beds came about. So it's all about, for me, growing.
Growing.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
There you go.
we there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
G
growing.
Mama. Thank you, G Mama. Thank you, baby. So listen, I'm gonna say this, nephew. If you all are here on Growing Out the Box and you all don't know me or you haven't been to my channel, there it is right there. G Mama got it.
That's right.
Um,
Thank you,
you
G
all,
Mom.
yeah. Go check it out.
Put
See
Miss
if
Linda
you
up in
like
the
it.
chat,
Yeah.
and y'all can post. Everybody on there probably is already because we got 130. Yeah, anybody who's on my side, if you are not subscribed to Miss Linda, go over there and check her out. She
Yeah.
does her lives on Tuesdays, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, on Sundays, 7 Central,
Mhm.
8 Eastern. That's where we all hang out at. So
Yeah.
Miss Linda is like the little spot. She got the spot. And she delivers every Tuesday and Sunday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Oh, there. Look at
Yeah.
that, Miss Linda.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you,
Thank
honey.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. But
Miss
what we're going to be, go ahead. Go ahead.
Miss B said, Amen, Miss Linda. I totally agree. I plan to eat. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Oh, wait, I wanted to, there was somebody else. Carl. Thank you, Carl. Carl said something about my age. I can't remember what he said. Oh, he says 68. You look amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's eating from that soil out there.
That's right. And I eat from it every day.
That's right.
Every day. Hey,
And what we
Annalise.
say, you are what you eat.
Amen.
Gardner in here.
Oh, thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Bridget. So Charlene said, I just ordered my Love Live Amaranth on Wednesday after seeing Miss Linda's video. Thank you. But you're welcome,
I
baby.
love Lies Amaranth. That is, like I said, there's so look up the benefits of it and the usage. When you Google it, look up the usage. And there is so much that you can do for it. It is, hey, what's up, Cash Flow? I see Cash Flow came into the building. She's been
Yeah,
rocking with me since day one.
really.
Yeah,
Carl said plants need to earn their keep in my yard.
that's
Pretty
right.
and, and edible can go together with ease. Exactly.
That's right.
Hey Jackie, how you doing, baby? Jackie said, "Can you help me with my figs? They come up, but they drop off. My pecan trees are not giving pecans. They was here with the house. Oh, okay. So you inherited with the house. So first, let's talk about your fig tree. So first of all, I want to know is what zone you live in, and do you have them in containers or the ground? Because let me just say this: if you have them in the ground, trees, figs, especially your fig tree, especially fig trees, baby, they gonna feed themselves. God does it. Seriously, God does that,
Right.
right? Um, Now, if your tree need help, right? leaves, because remember, figs don't give you no flowers. So give your fig trees some 511 super juice. Okay, give it some 511 and super juice every 10 days for at least maybe 2 months, and you'll be fine. Now the pecan tree, I don't have a clue. Do you know anything about pecan trees?
I got my first nut tree on the way. I'm going to
Really?
be growing almonds. So
Mm.
almonds will be on the website as well. My wife loves almond milk.
My baby Precious have an almond tree, and let me tell you, her tree produces like crazy every year. Now she do live in California Zone 9 too.
Well,
Like,
the almond tree that I have, and I don't think I've listed it thus far, but it gets down to negative 20, 15, but we're going to say 20. That's on the way now. And again, like I said, I'll be growing that for the almond milk. And
okay,
that's generally what I'll be
which is
growing.
great. I love that almond milk. I
Yeah.
do. Yeah. All right, cash flow.
Nah,
Oh,
indeed.
Jackie says she live in Zone 9. You live in Zone 9, baby. Look. So I don't know if your trees are in the ground or is it in a container. Let me know that. Pecan trees may be old. Thank you, J3. He said they dropping leaves because it may be old. She says she inherit the tree. Bougie said, I just subscribed. Thank you, baby.
Okay. Miss D, I started an avocado tree. It was growing pretty. Now it seems to be dying. Can you give me any help with that? Question that same thing Miss Linda just said. Is it in ground or is it in a pot? And
Yeah.
did you grow it from seed or was it a
Yeah.
store bought? That's a significant
Exactly. That's a
question
big,
also.
yeah. Yeah.
Because if can't you can't really see the light right here, that's a avocado tree right here.
Mm.
And that's grown from seed. That bush is 4 years old now. And
Mm.
when you grow from seed, that thing may not produce 7 to 10 years. But it was something that I wanted to do. I want to see it because
Could be
growing
good.
blocks. Finish that up, Miss Linda. You be doing too
You
much.
be doing too much,
You be
man.
doing
Too
too much.
much. Too much.
So I wanted to see for myself how long will it take to grow avocado from seed to fruit. I got the rest of my life to figure it out.
Yeah. Mike say my great grandmother used to put her tobacco juice. What? Tobacco juice on the base of a pecan tree. Oh, grease me out. I bet it did.
Probably the nitrogen in
Yeah,
the tobacco.
in the tobacco,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
nitrogen. Yeah.
Thank you, Charlene. Yeah, that's yeah. I think if it's losing leaves, there's two things I would give it, and that is nitrogen and some potassium. That's look. Go ahead on with the with the 511 too, baby.
Do you see what
What?
she's saying, Miss Linda?
No, what she said? I grew from stove. Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just say that that's a lifelong project.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Don't
Yeah.
look for anything from it. Just take care of her and hopefully she'll be with you long enough to see some fruit. But you're talking on average what they say, and I'm just saying what they say, 7 to 10 years.
7 to 10 years. And this is what we talked about earlier. And this is why you get so many trees with rootstocks,
That's right.
is because of that.
That's right.
Dropping a
But
tree from seed,
let's
baby.
let's give her the lanyard though.
Okay.
The leaves.
True.
Avocado tree leaves.
Research those leaves. Research,
Research the
and you're
leaves.
gonna find big benefits in
That's
the
right.
leaves. So if you
So
never get
just
the fruit, there you
that's
go.
right. That's right. Miss Linda blessed y'all with that one now when she started telling y'all about those leaves. So, and as a matter of fact, that's when I started going out and tasting all my citrus after you did that video about the leaves on the
Yeah,
trees. Because
yeah.
you can actually get a real good hint of what your citrus is going to taste like by just
Tastes like it.
tasting the leaves.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I even went out and got or my I have a mandarin orange tree. Amazing. Just amazing. The leaves, just the leaves. Listen, it's beautiful, right? And like I say, many of us, we get so down on ourselves when we don't have any fruit on our like like your orange tree. Maybe you didn't get fruit and you get down. You're like, oh, I don't have any oranges. But God has already blessed you. Look at all the leaves you have.
Right.
Do your research on all your fruit tree leaves, all of
That's
them.
right. That's right. Because
You're going to
like you said,
find
a
that
lot of
God has
people
already
are
blessed you.
growing, and that's one of the good things about if you are growing. The person who was talking about the avocado
Mhm.
from seed, avocado. Look it up.
Yeah,
The benefits of avocado leaf. I mean, like I said, I don't get into all of the teas and all of that stuff because, I don't know what medications certain people are taking, so I
right.
don't talk about a whole lot of stuff that you take directly. But
Mhm.
look that information up, and you will find a wealth of information on
Big.
value of those leaves. Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah,
Oh,
she said she wished she'd have known earlier because the leaves become beautiful and green. I love
yeah.
avocado. Yeah, the leaves. Look that. Well, what do you mean? You wish you know? You know now.
Oh, who is this? Brad say, damn, grandma making super juice with micro.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Case closed. Divorce a case closed. Know what she doing over there?
Yeah. Um, who is this? Miss D says, I guess I grew from, oh, you grew from the store. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, there's nothing because mine is grown from the store. It's 4 years old now. And again, I just want to see for myself how long will it take, for it to fruit. And if it does, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine also. But what you can do is if that tree you have is 3, 4 years old, if you decide to purchase another tree, you may be able to graft onto it, and then that tree will be able to fruit sooner. So it all depends on what you're trying to do with it.
Will you share how you graft
Uh,
in a
I have,
video?
yeah, yeah. I actually have a grafting tool,
Yeah.
and
Well, I've seen it before.
yeah, and it's a real neat little thing because
Yeah.
it gives you like a little teardrop. It
Hmm.
pinches the scion and it gives you a teardrop. So when you slide them together,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people just kind of do a little slit on them, then they kind of match up the cambium layers, and then they
Hmm.
tape them together.
Hmm.
That can work, works good. But you're talking about a beautiful union
Hmm.
when you clip those teardrops in there and you kind of just slide it together like a puzzle. If you
Right.
can imagine how a puzzle just kind of pops together,
Hmm.
it fits perfect. You just go in and you measure the width of the branch, and you
Hmm.
go in and measure the width of your scion, the width of your rootstock, and you clip them in that same spot with that teardrop, and you literally slide them together, wrap your little grafting tape around it,
Right.
leave it.
Right.
That's how
I've
simple it is.
seen I've seen a couple of my friends do it, and it is amazing. Of course, I've done many air lays. I'm good at it, y'all. But I've never did grafting. So I'm gonna have to try it. I really am.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm not
again, Carl, I'm the last person you want to ask about growing in pots. So I
really.
when you say I kill things in pots, so I've tried it because I got rosemary that in the ground. I don't touch it. She does her thing.
That's
The
it.
rosemary in the pot, I cannot get them to live in a pot.
Really?
I have no idea why. Same thing with my lavender. When I try to grow it in pots, it'll go through a season and maybe the winter, something's going to happen. But the ones that's in the ground, they just do their own thing. So I am terrible at growing in pots.
Yeah. I love that, but I had a huge lemongrass bush, and the last hurricane we had, it took her out. So I did get this, and I got the seeds. These are the seeds to lemongrass. And of course, I could have went to the store and bought me some lemongrass, but I love to drop seeds. So I will be dropping these seeds tomorrow with this lemongrass, which is amazing.
So, does anyone else have any questions? Because we are pushing 12 o'clock. So I got Miss. Oh yeah, it's 11 your time, Miss Linda.
No, it's 10 my time. 10:51 right now.
Oh yeah, we're pushing. Yeah, you're about to be 11.
11.
I'm about to be 12.
And man, I'd be
I know.
I know.
Miss Linda douche you in a minute. She'll douche you out. So, anybody have any questions before we get out of here? And I'm going to say, between the both chats, next Friday, we're going to come back at 8 o'clock. And y'all might want to go and check out some videos on both myself and Miss Linda's channel. And we're going to ask some questions. And it'll be recent videos, so we ain't going to make it too difficult. Maybe go back to the last. How far back do you think, Miss Linda, we should send them back?
Maybe, February.
Okay. So we'll say go back through the February videos, kind of get up to speed, and we're going to ask some questions that are in those videos. And at the end of the live, we're going to pick some winners and we're going to send them a fruit tree.
Oh, wow.
How about that? Does that sound good for everybody? Let me get a thumbs up in there if everybody feeling that.
That's amazing.
We're gonna give away maybe more than one fruit tree because y'all been generous. Y'all have been really generous with spending your money with me. And as I promised from the beginning, and I still hold true to that, as the channel becomes successful, I'm going to share that with you guys. So we're going to be passing that right back into the community because I really do appreciate everything that you guys are doing. So again, go back through our February videos. I don't really post that much. So you're going to have a job going over there with Miss Linda. Because she posts every day?
Not every day. Just about. Yeah.
So go over and just check them out. And we're going to ask some questions from both of our channels. And whoever come up with, I don't know, maybe the most right answers, or maybe at the end of the thing, we'll just spin a wheel or pick some type of random, and we'll pick, I don't know, just depends on how generous I'm feeling that day.
Ms. D say that's an awesome idea. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So what this is all about is community.
Yeah.
That's really what these lives are about. Just sitting here getting comfortable in front of the camera. I feel pretty good today. We kind of stumbled a little bit coming in, but hey, we're sharing on both each other's channel. That's something that we hadn't done before. It's only my second live.
Technically.
Yeah. So, but that's what I want to do moving forward. Like pretty much on maybe once a month, we'll do like some giveaways.
Cool.
Yeah. Once a month we'll do giveaways. And I have like cherry tomatoes, I'm trying to think of how many seeds. The butterfly pea.
Hey.
Courtesy of Miss Linda.
Yeah.
Mike's Chaotic Gardening. That banana, some people call it banana squash, but it's the Georgia Candy Roaster.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we can throw in there. I think personally for pest protection, my
I have some really big sunflower seeds. I have,
okay, okay,
so I would share them. I know I've shared some of them with some of my people here.
yeah,
Like I remember analytic art, but I have lots and lots of these big, beautiful sunflower seeds. I would love to share them with you.
yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get a little more organized. I'll write down, and I think I have maybe like 10 different seeds. Pretty much what you saw me growing in the garden last year. My
Hmm.
the wax peppers,
Oh yeah, I know.
those babies are nice. I don't know how many people would be interested in the Carolina Reapers because that's a mean baby right there.
Yeah.
She ain't one to play with, but I think it's going to be about 10 seeds that I was going to list into the site, but
Hmm.
I think I want to gift them, and we'll do something along the lives to where we just kind of gift out the whole
Okay.
package. Yeah, so
Cool.
that's what we'll
GMO.
go ahead, Miss Lynn.
No, it's, GMO. That's his name.
Oh, Gmo, he's in there.
Yes. One down.
What's up, my brother? And see, he come in with the language all like, "What's up, neighbor?"
What's up, neighbors? Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I was thinking about calling the live
What, man?
neighborhood watch.
I love it. I
Neighborhood
like
watch,
it.
and then have the big eyes to where neighborhood watch. And what we do at the neighborhood watch, we come in and we discuss things that are happening in the community.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Nikidra, she said, "How do I find Miss Linda on this platform?" So, Mike, if you put my channel up there for Nikidra.
Yeah.
Thank you,
One of my-
baby.
And like I said, this was a pop up. I was just, I
Yeah.
was watching Miss Linda's Miss Linda's video today, and just so happened we were on the same wavelength. She did a video today about fruit trees, and I had wanted
Thank
to show you guys how my fruit trees are being delivered. So we kind of just came together and was like, come on, let's just do something tonight. It's our first, not our first time together, but I
No.
think this flowed. I like the
Yeah,
flow of this. I
I
like the
do
flow.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because you know why? You do too much.
going out the box, you be doing too much. I'm gonna give me a sampler, and every time somebody say something, I'm gonna hit that. Growing out the box, you be doing too much.
You be doing too much,
But,
man. You be doing
but
too
you know what?
much.
That is the blessing of this community. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
been so received, and everything started right there from Miss Linda's channel,
Yeah.
and I am forever grateful to this lady that's on the screen with me. And it's crazy because she was asking me early on, like, to come on live, and I was like, Miss Linda,
Mm.
I can't hold a candle to you that sit up on that thing talking about it. So, but she's gotten me to a point now to where, I'm feeling comfortable getting in front of the camera, and it's a lot easier having someone to talk to
Yeah.
rather than just sitting here talking to the screen and reading. So it makes it so much easier. And I just appreciate you so much.
Oh.
That's my 12 o'clock. That means time for bed. I have to set my alarm to make me go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
But
my 12
listen,
o'clock.
to everyone on and growing out the box, I want to thank you all for welcoming me here. I enjoyed hanging out with you all. And you're
Can
gonna have me
someone,
back, right? You're gonna have me
oh,
back.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can someone post growingoutthebox.com in the chat for me?
Yeah. Devora, hey baby. Peace, y'all. Peace, J3.
Yeah, growing out the box, you be doing too much.
You be doing too much. You
I'm
be
gonna
doing
give me a sampler, and I'm gonna have all my sounds up here. Every time somebody come in the chat, I'm gonna ring the bell. We gonna do this thing different. It's gonna be, like I said, it's community. I love the community, and it's just so many beautiful people that I've met through Miss Linda that's become a part of my family. And my thing is, she calls her people family, and I say neighbors, because I get so many people always say to me, man, I wish I was your neighbor. I'd be over there every day and we'd be back there. So that's what we're going to be calling. We're going to be calling each other neighbors when we come into the chat. And the live itself is going to be called Neighborhood Watch. The Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah. Good night, baby. Good night,
All right,
Bridget.
so we're not going to hold you all up. We appreciate y'all on this Friday night, and blessings to you, Miss Linda, and everybody in the chat.
May the good Lord bless and keep you until we meet again. That's it.